haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yes, the first one so far in this match. 35 seconds left. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it, people? Mega Man! Mega Man! The super fighting robot!
Oh,
wait!
Oh, he got one! He got one!
Super fighting robot! Mega Man! Fighting to save the world!
Hey fans, what's up? It's Gamer Guy 7 Aces, and today I'm interviewing a very special person from the Smash Brothers community. A lot of you people may know him. His name is D1. How's it going, D1?
Oh, doing fine. Thank you for having me, man.
Alright, nice. Alright, so I just got a few questions here. You know, I always wanted to interview you and all that, so we'll start with the very first question. Where did your nickname D1 come from?
Well, the funny thing is, my name is actually pronounced D1. It's spelled D''R''O''N, but the R is pronounced like a W. My parents have a French and Haitian background, and I believe that's what led them to pronounce the name in such a way. But yeah, when I had the name growing up in school, it was funny how many people, you know, I had to go through like every single year in school with a teacher that doubted me and had to call my house. And, you know, my parents would basically, like, correct them, like, hey, it's actually pronounced D1. He's not lying. And then the whole class would laugh. So, yeah, it's always fun, especially going into a new school, you know, once I, like, graduate out of, like, 5th grade, going into 6th grade, I have to tell everybody all over again my name. And same thing when I went into, like, high school and college. But, yeah, what I decided to do was, you know, since people kept asking me, is that my alias, I decided, you know what, I might as well actually make that a gamer tag. But instead of like spelling out my name, like I remember when I first got into Smash, my tag used to actually have D''R''O''N. I just said, you know what, since people keep mispronouncing my name, I'm just gonna put D1, and that way whenever they ask if that's my actual name, and I'll be like, yeah. So instead it's reversed now. Instead of them doubting me, you know, if it's my real name now, instead I'll give them my tag, and then I'll just revert that into letting them know that's my real name.
Oh, that's cool. I totally agree with you about like people mispronouncing names, because my parents are from Nigeria originally, so like all the teachers always struggle pronouncing my last name, and I had to like spell it out for them, and they still got it wrong. But yeah,
it's totally fun.
Yeah. All right, next question. When did you start getting involved with the Smash community?
Let's see. I believe I got involved in the Smash community around late 2004, and I was just a lurker around the time. You know, I kept watching videos, tech skill videos, old videos of Japanese players. I remember one of my inspirations were Masashi, the Fox main. He rarely wave dashed or wave shined, so I was one of those players in the beginning that thought, oh, I could get good without having a wave dash, you know, like it's not important. So I was on that bandwagon. Okay. And after a while, once I learned the advanced techniques, you know, things got crazy. I remember my first ever tournament, February 2005, hosted by Deadly Alliance, and I got wrecked. All I remember is my very last match in the losers bracket was against a Jigglypuff that camped on 4 side and kept up throw resting me for all 4 stocks. And, yeah, I was humbled by that experience and just decided to keep coming afterwards.
Nice. All right, yeah. Okay, next question. How long have you been hosting games, like in general?
You're actually hosting tournaments or like commentating?
I think a mixture of both, like tournaments and, you know, commentating. Like, okay, like what got you into commentating, and then how'd you like start hosting like big tournaments like Smash Bros and all that?
Okay, well, I'd say around 2009, like I was a competitor heavy from like 2005 to around 2009. And then around 2009, I'd say around early or mid 2009, I started slowing down in Brawl. You know, I was first really strong into competitive Melee. Then in 2008, I was really heavy into Brawl. Then around like, I'd say mid 2009, my love for the game just started to wane. And I decided, you know what, I just wanted to jump into the FGC a bit, because I really liked Street Fighter. Street Fighter 4 just came out, and that was the new thing that everybody was talking about. and I also got into BlazBlue. I really loved anime fighters deep down inside, so I decided, you know, hey, Guilty Gear was cool, but BlazBlue is the new thing at the time, so I decided, hey, let me just jump in there and try it out. I also played Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution 3 on the side too, yes, on the Wii. That game was really fun. I actually won a couple tournaments in my region for that, or got top 2. But yeah, I was one of the threats in that game quick, mainly because I used to play that game a lot back in the day, like GNT4, GNT3, all the way to the first one in the GameCube. But yeah, like 2009, while I was playing those other games on the side, I decided to like I decided to start actually hosting my own tournaments in New York City. Like I, you know, would basically use the fact that I had so many friends in the Smash community made it easy for me to advertise to people that I was hosting a tournament. So, you know, I'd get an event together, I'd find a venue, speak to the venue owner, then afterwards I would just plan everything out, try to get people to commit to actually bringing setups, because, you know, at the time I didn't have anybody, you know, like nowadays Apex had like sponsors like Nintendo to help bring setups. I didn't have things like that, you know. I had to rely on the community. So yeah, it was rough. I had to get people from the community to, you know, rally together. Hey, bring setups, bring TVs, so we could have people play Brawl or Melee, you know, at these events. And what else? Yeah, I'd say, yeah, around 2009, I started hosting tournaments, and as far as commentary is concerned, I did it casually, you know, like a hobby on the side with like Prague and other people on the mic, you know, locally, just local New York City players who would just have a laptop, and there would be a live mic, and we'd just, you know, sit near the laptop, and while the match was going on, we'd just basically MC on the mic, you know, would you know, kick some knowledge while also tell some jokes here and there. We were a bit more off color back then, though. There were no filters. Yeah, we were all out, you know, definitely inspired by people like, you know, Waffles, you know, Yipes and the like, you know, a lot of FGC commentators. But yeah, I'd say around like 2009, that was definitely the time I decided to start getting into that.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, and the problem with me is, like, I always play a lot of fighting games, but I never got seriously into it, and, you know, but until I started playing Smash Bros. So, and that brings me to my next question. Can you give any advice on how to get better in the Smash Bros. Scene, like in tournaments and all that? Like what can you do to improve?
Okay, so what can one do to improve in the Smash community, like if you actually want to be a better competitor? So I'd say the best thing for you to do is to go out of your comfort zone, you know. Check out the forums. There are numerous forums all over the place. You have Smash boards. They also have a myriad of Facebook groups for people to join. You know, local, regional Facebook groups for Smash, and for every single Smash game as well, to make it easier for you to find people in your area to play. And like, once you find people around your area, you need to just basically try to, you know, tailor your schedule around, you know, whichever, your training sessions, basically. Once you find whatever, like, free time you have to actually, like, go out and, like, attend a Smash Fest, attend a tournament, or just have someone come over your place and practice, you know, do that, you know. Start making friends in a community, because there's some people who, you know, they're introverts, so it's a bit hard for them to go out there and just ask people, hey, do you want to play Smash, you know. And if people don't respond, they might get discouraged, and this might even lead them into thinking that they're you know, nobody wants to listen to them because they're not popular or whatever. But this isn't the case, you know. If you actually show a genuine passion for the game, that you really want to get better, people will play with you. You'll find that considerate, sincere person that wants to see you, like, become the next best player out there. They'll come through, they'll teach you, they'll show you the ropes. And yeah, that's one thing I really loved about the scene, because when I joined the Smash community, in comparison to many other scenes, whenever I asked people for help and stuff, there would be certain scenes where people would just withhold information. They didn't want to tell me, like, as if they were afraid that I would just, you know, usurp their throne or something. I'm like, what? You don't help people, the scene could potentially die. So you might as well, you know. Yeah, so I'd say that's the best thing to do, and do tons of research. In this day and age, there's no reason for people to have a difficulty finding information for Smash. Google allows people to find so much information. Like it's at your fingertips. If there's something you want help with, you could check it out on Google. There's smashlounge.com. There's the Smash Bros subreddit, Smash boards. Everywhere you can literally search for information in regards to Smash. Twitter now, thanks to the efforts of Prog, myself, and many others in the Melee community back then, we there are a lot more Smashers who are attainable on Twitter. It's easy we're accessible. It's easier for you guys to reach out to us and ask us a question. And if we don't have the answer, we can refer you to somebody who is probably well versed in whatever subject that is, which is so great. And I think the last thing I can tell you, other than that, besides just reaching out to people and meeting them, be open to criticism. When a person tells you something that you're doing them wrong, don't make excuses all the time. Actually go through trying to change up your style. Listen to whatever advice they have, because they're the ones that are experienced. They're the ones that have been through it. And also just practice. I won't say practice makes perfect, but if you persevere, you can definitely get through that. Just keep trying, and you'll get there.
Yeah, when it comes to practicing, I always say practice makes progress instead of perfect, because a lot of people. Yeah. And there is one really good Smash player that I'm friends with, Supergirl Kels. I don't know if you've heard of her. She was in Apex, this past Apex. She's really good, and hopefully I'll get to practice with her more so I can get a lot better with Smash Bros. Yeah. All right. Question number 5. What was your most memorable event that you hosted?
Most memorable event.
Yeah.
I'd have to say the most memorable event that I've hosted. At first I'd probably say Apex 2015, dude. Out of the Smash events that I've been through, Apex 2015 was definitely the most memorable. There are just so many reasons. I just the fact that we were on the brink of cancellation, and then out of nowhere, everybody from the community got together. We decided, hey man, this is gonna work out. We're not gonna give up right now, and we all just put our heads together, came up with a plan. Thank goodness for all the people that were involved outside of the Apex crew, like Twitch, Bfutaki, Team Spooky, Gaming Generations, CEO. There were so many amazing people. I heard we had people like Red Bull, Coke, Microsoft. Yeah, just tons of sponsors came through at the last second with the quick Phoenix down. They just literally, it was like an episode of Dragon Ball Z where the entire Earth lent us their strength. Everybody was just like this, hands up in the air. We have to save Apex, and it happened. And after that, I was like, yo, this show must go on, dude. It was just so good. I got to the venue, and when I saw the venue, I was like, yo, day 2, we are gonna kill it. Everything was, I won't say everything was perfect, but there were so many moments in that tournament that to me were, I feel like out of all the other Smash tournaments I've been to, this one has to be my favorite. Of course it wasn't perfect. There are a lot of critiques, but deep down inside, this tournament was definitely one of my favorite tournaments. There were so many amazing upsets that happened. People did not expect PPMB to reach the grand finals and take the tournament. This guy has been out of the game for so long, and he comes out of nowhere and wins. We had Leffen beating Mango not only at Beast 5 at the Apex qualifier, but beats Mango again in Apex.
Was Mewtwo King there?
Mewtwo King losing to Leffen. He finally slayed Leffen. He finally did it. This man beat all the top 5 members. He's done it. Leffen, everybody's, his checklist, it's full. He's done. He completed his mission. And now he's just fighting his best. He just wants to be number 1 at this point. And the salty sweet was really amazing. It was unfortunate that it was so loud enough to the point where it disturbed some players that were still playing in tournament matches. But the overall experience for spectators and players involved in the actual event was just great. We had a big stage. There were tons of players cheering. We had signs. I felt like we were at a sport event, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I saw the pictures on Twitter.
Oh man, I was so hyped. I was like, yes, this isn't, you know, with the circumstances aside, this is definitely like kind of the way I wanted to see Smash, you know, become. You know, of course, there's certain things that still need to be fixed. This goes without saying, but it looks like we're going in the right direction. Like, to have such a huge crowd, I want to have things like that, you know, at Smash events. I want people that attend these events that go 0-2 to have a reason to want to stick around, you know? Like, it's so unfortunate for these guys that come to a tournament, all right? They lose, and then what are they going to do next? Go to their hotel room, you know, do nothing? Like, it's great that there were so many seats so that people, if they didn't want to play friendlies because there weren't setups available, they could sit down, they could spectate the matches on the big screen and enjoy it and cheer along with the rest of the people beside them, no matter, you know, what their background is, no matter what kind of differences they have. All of us together, man, watching Smash Brothers, cheering, for, you know, just having a blast. Like this, that's what I want to see, man. Yeah. That's what I want to see in the future. And Apex definitely, like, I felt so good just looking at the crowd to see if people, all different colors, different races, backgrounds, doesn't matter. Like,
you just hyped me up, man. I gotta go to Apex 2016.
Yeah, man, it was too hype, man. It was too hype, and seeing the Smashers now starting to develop personalities. Like, I remember back in the day, if I watched certain videos, not everybody would have a personality if you actually watch certain videos. Some people, yeah, they were, you know, you look at them, you hear them speak, and it's like, all right, this guy, he's entertaining. While others, they just usually let their skills, you know, in the game speak for themselves. But nowadays, some of these players, they're starting to have more personalities, which makes it hype for us. You know, like, we're watching and we see, like, things like you know, unfortunately for Chillin SDing in the match against Leffen, and Leffen laughing and patting his back. People, things like Bizarro Flame, you know, doing real life up tilt on stage before playing Eichelman, and like, just a whole bunch of cool stuff. PC Chris, after he beat Ken in the Salty Sweet match, he was crowd surfing. They literally, people picked him up and he was surfing the crowd, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hype. Yeah. Like, there's so many cool things that happen, man. And even on the Smash 4 side of things, we had a lot of amazing matches too, you know. Great players from all over the world. Choco, the Zero Suit player. We had Abadango, the Pac-Man / Wario player. Just so much talent for Smash 4. I'm so happy for Zero, who actually won the tournament. You know, I had my, if I was a betting man, I had my chips on this guy from the beginning. I knew he was going to win. He's been working so hard to win the tournament. And people were telling me, yo, I don't think Zero's going to win this, yo. He's not going to win this. Final battle, which was 2 weeks before Apex, I think. 2 weeks or a week before Apex. Zero was disqualified because he was caught playing a friendly in the venue, right? He was in the losers bracket early, regardless of how many tough players were there. Let me tell you, like, the players that were there. We had guests from Japan. We had Larry, we had Tyrant, Nakat, Nairo, Esam. A whole bunch of tough players were in-house. Yet, my man Zero just fought through everybody. He was literally the Grim Reaper in the losers bracket, took that tournament, and when I saw Zero brought it back all the way from losers and to grand finals, I was like, this man is gonna win Apex. I don't care what anybody says. He's gonna win Apex, and he did. Yeah. You know, he did. So overall, Apex was definitely my favorite event. I'm gonna, of course, make sure to address whatever issues people had with the event to make sure that in the future, any big Smash events that people attend, they will have a good experience. But, you know, that's what it's always a learning experience with these events. You know, nothing ever happens perfectly, you know, but I think what will make our scene even better is if we make sure to learn from our mistakes so that people could keep coming back to future events. But
that's cool, nice. And yeah, and also it's very good to hear that Smash 4 got a lot of attention too, other than just Melee. But yeah, and speaking of Smash Bros. 4, what are your opinions on the Smash Bros. 3DS and the Wii U? What are your opinions between those games versus the other previous installments, like Brawl, Melee, 64?
All right, well, let's see. I definitely think Smash 4 is, you know, in comparison to the previous iteration of Smash, is definitely a step in the right direction. One of the main reasons I say that is because of the You know, now people air dodging towards the ground in Brawl, if you air dodge towards the ground, you lag. Now that people can actually lag when they air dodge towards the ground, it opens up more opportunities for us to punish our opponents who spam dodge like without even thinking, you know, without even like any fear in the world that they'll get punished. It used to actually upset me a lot when I played people in Brawl, that they would legit, if I launched them in the air, I'd hear them mash the L and R button, and by the time they land and I tried to like punish them, they would power shield and things like that. It just really like, it really upset me, you know. Of course, yeah, and oh goodness, tripping, and there were a lot of things. One thing I do miss though is that Brawl, there were certain things in Brawl that I did really like. You know, there were characters that had moves that auto cancel better. You know, characters were like things like Falco. Falco, his short hop blaze is gone. Marth can't do like short hop fair or short hop double fair. Now it lags. Like things like that I definitely miss. You know, I wish things like that would return. But other than that, like I'd say in comparison to Brawl, I'm happy that there's the absence of tripping and air dodges and air dodge landing lag. I like the fact that that's added in, and the ledge mechanics are great because now people can't plank. What else? The rage effect. I think it's, you know, it's pretty cool. Like it allows people to make comebacks, but sometimes it can actually not work in someone's favor as well. You know, if a person already has a lead and the opponent they're fighting only has one stock, it can be really tough. Another thing that I wanted to speak about too, in regards to Smash 4, and see if I can bring it up. Oh yeah, another thing that I like about the game is, darn, I can't believe I forgot it. Well, actually, the cast. You know, there's a really eclectic cast, a great set of characters. I just really hope, you know, since patching seems like it might still be a thing, even though Sakurai said he probably might not patch anymore. Yeah, just the fact that there's so many different characters in the game and that there's patching, you know, there's hope that people who want to play whoever they like because they actually like the character from whatever franchise they were in, they can probably have hope that these characters might see the light of day in the future. You know, right now, there are certain characters that are being used quite a bit, which makes it rough for players who just want to hop in and use anybody they like. But I feel like these players shouldn't be discouraged immediately just because like a character like Diddy, it seems to be popular. You know, you should still hit the lab, see if your character has what it takes to actually combat said character, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as Melee is concerned, I'd say in comparison from Smash 4 to Melee, out of all the Smash games, I definitely like the engine from Melee the most because of the freedom of movement. You know, the movement freedom, the hit stun. The only thing I would probably want to have in Smash 4 that is absent in, no, the only thing that I would want in Melee that's absent in Smash 4 is the fact that, you know, the ledge mechanics are different, you know, so people can't really camp the edge as much. And I think that's probably it. But Smash 4, you know, there's no Smash DI, so multi-hit moves can definitely combo more. Yeah, you can't really escape them.
There's one thing I wish they patched was the up tilt though. Like in Mario's up tilt, hate that. There's some people who made jokes about that, like continue up tilting, you can't do anything about it until.
You know, it's funny. You can actually DI down really early. If you get down thrown and someone up tilts you, you can DI down and hold shield, and then you'll be able to like get off the combo if they try to get you at 0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned from Music King and Zero. So yeah, there are a lot of things that seem to be pretty inescapable, but there are ways around it, you know. People are starting to figure it out. But yeah, as far as Smash 64 is concerned, as much as I like that game, the overwhelming block stun and hit stun makes it hard for newer players, you know, that want to jump into the competitive side of the game. Then again, I've seen people that have played it competitively that jumped into it like recently and they still liked it. So yeah, I mean, so the way I see it is 64, you get one read for every stock, and you should end a stock. You know, one read equals a stock. That's how it should be in that game. For Melee, well, maybe 1 to 3 reads. It depends. It's all matchup dependent. Sometimes if there are floaties on the field, it takes way more, you know. But Brawl, like every single hit, you need to be ready to think about the next thing to do, like, you know, the next follow-up, because a person can potentially air dodge. And Smash 4, you know, it's still similar to that, except people have less freedom now to air dodge willy-nilly. And, you know, the punish game's a bit better. So overall, you know, I like Smash 4. I'm definitely, the only two games I play now that are Smash related are Melee and Smash 4. So yeah, that's something.
Oh, that's cool. All right, next question. I've been wondering, have you met or had any interaction with Sakurai or Xander Mobus? And if so, what are they like?
I've never met Xander Mobus, but I had the opportunity to meet Sakurai at E3 2014.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the invitation.
Yeah, he was a pretty quiet individual. You know, he just watched all of us interact. He shook our hands. We had a group hug, and probably just like nodded in his direction. But he was like accompanied with a translator for the most part. So, you know, I never really went out of my way to speak to him, since, you know, the translator is always going to be.
I was about that. Yeah. All right, and yeah, okay. The last question is kind of similar to the previous question, like what advice do you have for people who are interested in hosting? But yeah, instead I'll ask you another question. What is your favorite and least favorite character in Smash Brothers 4?
Favorite and least favorite character. So I'd say my favorite character right now is Greninja in Smash 4. Like Greninja, I think what it is his up smash. Like every time it hits the opponent, Sakurai just made that move sound so satisfying to land. When you get that sweet spot, Greninja just goes, you know, he just like, just tears his opponents open. You know, like I think of like an anime samurai kind of movie where there's a person that's wielding like a dual blade, you know, somebody that's wielding two blades, and he just like, his opponent is in midair and he thrusts it upward and he just, you know, just rips it apart. Yeah, it sounds kind of gruesome, but that's definitely what I think when every time I just hear Greninja's up smash. Like when I catch someone with that, I just think of a samurai going and just like, you know, it's just raining red water. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Greninja's I'd say my favorite, but Palutena is a close second though. Now, along with Fox, Palutena and Fox. Now my least favorite character is who's my least favorite character? I have to think. Darn, let me look around, because I have a bunch of like Smash related posters like up in this room. I guess, you know, Yoshi's another favorite, but so my absolute least favorite character in the game, I would have given that, I would have given that to the clones, but after playing like Dark Pit, I really like Dark Pit. Dr. Mario, I have a roommate that has a sick Dr. Mario, so I can't really hate on the Doc anymore. I can't hate on him. And like Lucina, you know, I really thought she shouldn't have been in the game, but she.
There's a lot of Lucina fans.
Yes. she's all right. She's all right too. So I'd probably say my least favorite character might just be Falco, because of what they did to him, man. Like I love Falco a lot, but I just don't like the direction that Sakurai went with the character. He's not my cup of tea anymore. He's not the same guy.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is now, like, a lot of people can say, like, you know, from that Wombo combo, they can be like, oh yeah, that ain't Falco, you know, because it's not really the Falco they knew. So
it's not, man. It's not. Like, it really makes me sad. But I'm a big Falco enthusiast. He's my favorite character in Brawl and Melee. But Smash 4, like, I tried to pick him up early. It was not happening. Like, I had some sick reads with him, but I just felt like I was working way too hard, to the point where I just decided, why not use like Fox or Palutena, Yoshi, or Sheik, or even who's the other character I really like to use, Greninja. Like, those are my faves. So I don't know, Falco really broke my heart, dude. So hopefully Sakurai patches him. Maybe we could get the Shore Hop Laser back. Like, Sakurai, if you're watching, what's up? That'd be cool.
Still waiting on that Mewtwo. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, that wraps it up for this interview, ladies and gentlemen. So before we leave, is there any last words you want to say, D1? Like,
all right, cool. Well, I encourage everybody who, you know, is really into like Smash and wants to find more people to train with, think about starting your own stream. Get the equipment needed to stream. Start hosting your own lobbies, you know, or even going for glory, whatever, and have people just join your stream, check out what's going on with your play style, you know, and they can even give you tips as you're playing. Because that's one thing that really helped me when I first started like streaming the 3DS version. Like I would be playing people and the chat would be like, hey D1, you do this too much, you're doing that so right. You know what? Streaming while you're playing is amazing because you'll have people that can actually see what you're doing. Yeah. And you'll be able to, you know, change up your playstyle based on whatever critiques you or observations you got from the viewers.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. Yeah, this interview was 30 minutes. Nice, perfect timing. So, all right, that wraps it up, everyone. So, I'd like to thank you once again for interviewing you, D1. And yeah, take care, everyone. And yeah, and thanks for watching this interview.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
It's actually really cool. I hope that no, it's totally fine. Yeah. I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah. Yeah, just edit this out. But yeah,
yeah,
no, Sky.
Like I was trying to point behind you, but I was like, oh crap, I'm not on webcam, so he can't see me.
I lost it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm back. Sorry, but yeah, you have editing software, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're good.
We're
Okay.
the win.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're fine. So yeah, like.